All right, everyone, there's a place called Rockland, I guess this is in New York, that's being overdeveloped, allegedly, and the GOP is trying, of course, to take power there. And they've released an ad. There's a link in the description to a story that tells in brief what's happening. It does have a link to the actual ad. This ad is being labeled as anti-Semitic by the entire legacy media. So I decided to actually do what 99% of the people that read the legacy media's bullshit won't do and watch it. And you can tell, like, considering the number of actual news stories about this over the last week, and considering the number of views on the actual official ad on YouTube itself, I guarantee the threshold, the number of people that's actually bothering to watch the whole fucking ad is tiny. Minuscule. This shows the strategy of the legacy media. First sentence and title, sensationalistic bullshit, that's what they want you to actually imbibe. The rest of it is totally out of context nonsense that's all garbled up. And then maybe if there's a link there, 1 in 100 people will watch it. I watched the ad. It's not anti-Semitic. It's criticizing a land developer who happens to be a Hasidic Jew. Who gives a fucking shit? That's like saying, like let's say they're like, well, this corporate CEO is trying to poison all our water, and we want him out of our community and kick the bums to the curb, and they happen to be white. Like, that makes you anti-white? No, it makes you anti that fucking CEO. This is apparently a developer who's openly avowing a desire to expand sort of the socio-political power of his particular enclave that he feels he's part of, this community. If you know anything about certain communities of people with religious overtones, there's more social cohesion than a random jumble of people tend to exhibit. That's not some conspiracy theory or something like that. It's just they happen to form a more cohesive community. It doesn't mean that everyone votes the same or everyone eats the same or has the same colored house, but, there's more social cohesion. This is being openly avowed by this individual who's developing this land. The allegation is that the land is being overdeveloped and that spaces right now that are like forests and shit are going to be basically turned into condominiums. Since when have the Democrats determined that it's a bad thing to stand against urban overdevelopment and deforestation? That's what I would like to ask. Since when have New York leftists, of all people, gone totally berserk and they want more development? Because it seems like every publication they frequent is like, there's light pollution, we need to turn off the street lamps. We need more efficient, we need to build hobbit homes with green roofs and stuff like that, and we should be less intrusive, and there's too many people in the world, and we need to do no more zoning to allow the nature to flourish and stuff. By the way, I like nature. I look out my window and I see nature. If somebody were to come to Rutland, some billionaire or whatever, come to Rutland and they start taking empty lots and suburban homes like these and developing them, like if they wanted to take Chisana Drive, which is where I live, everyone knows that. This is a bunch of single-family homes. If someone were to come in and start going door to door trying to force people to sell their properties, even if they were paying them a lot, which I'm assuming this developer does, the basic strategy is definitely sugar before vinegar. If you're a good real estate developer, sweeten the deal. Like, having a good public image is worth a lot. So, give them a little bit of extra. It's peanuts to you. Your profit threshold's high anyway. You can always pull a Trump and you can write off anything as a deduction that you lose, so you'll always be in the green even if you don't pay any taxes. Used to be legal to do that, by the way. There's a reason why Trump's a billionaire. He just used existing law. It's hilarious because they tried to nail him on it. Anyway, now what's happened is, they'd go around and they'd try to buy up these properties. And it appears that there's an allegation here, and I'm not sure whether this is true or not, of discriminatory housing policies. It's entirely possible. Of course it is. You get a bunch of people that say, oh, we want this house or something like that, and you simply choose who gets it. How are they going to prove discrimination unless it's so absolutely systemic that the federal government gets involved? If you're smart about it in your housing policies, they're never going to be able to find you guilty of housing discrimination. It's a fool's errand to bother prosecuting if you if you have two fucking brain cells to rub together. Just don't leave any discriminatory paper trail. You do whatever you want. But if some developer, regardless of their race, their religion, whatever, were to come here and say, well, we want to turn the Styx-Hexen neighborhood into a bunch of tenement halls or a campus or something, a bunch of condominiums crammed in with quarter-acre lots, I'd be against that. yeah, I'd probably use my weight online to oppose it as well. Maybe I would end up trying to run for office to stop it or something like that. It wouldn't be because I have a stick up my ass about the person's ethnicity. I guess the idea is the fact that the developer is visibly Jewish makes it automatically anti-Semitic. But that's just fucking bullshit. It doesn't even fucking make any sense. It's one hell of a stretch to say that about this ad. Watch it. Other than the overly dramatic music, is there any element whatsoever? Does it even mention Judaism? Does it mention Jews? No, it shows a Jewish real estate developer who happens to be, I guess, allegedly greedy, and he's trying to overdevelop things in a discriminatory fashion in order to proclaim himself basically emperor of this particular little region by pumping it full of people that'll be loyal to him. By the way, if this were alleged about a corporate CEO with an R after their name, then nobody would call it anti-Semitic even if they were Jewish. Just so you know, obviously. It's bullshit. So, in other words, the Democrats, at least in Rockland, now stand for more urban development. We need more condominiums. We need more cheap tenement structures. We need more row houses. Fuck nature. Fucking trees. These trees are in the way of my beautiful parking lot. It's funny. Trump derangement has really seeped down, I guess, to the lower levels of politics now. When this is being called an anti-Semitic ad, peak derangement has already fucking happened. My God. Take a look at it. Again, watch the ad. It's right there for everyone to see. Judge for yourself whether that's anti-Semitic. I guarantee none of you are going to find it so. Oh my God, it shows a Jewish land developer. Anti-Semite? No, it's not. It's criticizing a land developer. It wouldn't matter. Guarantee if the dude were white or black or whatever the hell he would be, or a trans vegan or something, they would criticize just the same. Actually, they'd probably criticize more. The GOP doesn't like to criticize individuals who are religiously Jewish because in some cases, they're evangelicals. They get superstitious about these things. And it's like really funny and, it's all sorts of fucking messed up. That's about all. Peace out.